alt-pop US musician and internet personality Oliver Tree was among 6 people who died when the helicopter he was traveling in collided with another in Brazil. The 32-year-old had been on a world tour when the crash occurred over Rio de Janeiro on Sunday. One of the helicopters then fell onto the car park of a dealership, setting around 20 vehicles ablaze.
The British government acted lawfully when it banned the protest group Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation, the Court of Appeal in London ruled on Monday. Chief Justice Sue Carr said the group was not a civil disobedience organisation as it claimed, and that it operated with covert cells to destroy property at defence companies and on military bases.
Russia has unleashed one of its heaviest air raids on Ukraine in weeks, killing rescuers in the northeast and setting a historic cathedral ablaze in Kyiv, even as diplomatic moves elsewhere raised faint hopes of wider de-escalation. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia fired 70 missiles and 611 drones overnight, most of them at the capital, and that air defences shot down 50 missiles and 582 drones. Officials said at least 4 people were killed and about 30 injured in Kyiv, including children, as missiles and drone debris hit apartment blocks, markets and power lines, plunging some 140,000 residents into darkness. Police in Geneva have fired tear gas and used water cannon after parts of a largely peaceful demonstration against the G7 summit in nearby Evian. France descended into clashes. About 20,000 people took to the streets of the Swiss city on Sunday to denounce the gathering of leaders from the world's richest democracies, which opens on Monday across Lake Geneva in the French spa town. Britain's Court of Appeal has ruled that the government's proscription of the activist group Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation was lawful. The ruling on Monday came after the government lodged an appeal challenging a High Court ruling in February that banning the group under the Terrorism Act 2000 was unlawful and disproportionate.
World Cup group stage continues on Monday, with 4 more matches taking place across the United States. Spain begin their campaign against World Cup newcomers Cape Verde. Belgium face Egypt in what could be one of the day's closest games. Saudi Arabia take on Uruguay in Miami, and Iran meet New Zealand in Los Angeles.
FIFA's discrimination monitor at the World Cup has called for a VAR official to be removed for appearing to make a hand gesture resembling a white supremacist sign. When the official broadcast of Germany's opening game against Curaçao on Sunday cut pre-game to show the team of video review analysts, Sean Evans from Australia made an OK symbol with his right hand in front of his right leg. Though the game was played in Houston, video officials work in Dallas at the World Cup Broadcast Centre.
The Islamabad Electric Supply Company, ISCO, has intensified its campaign to recover outstanding electricity dues across its service area, warning that non-payment of bills will not be tolerated. ISCO Chief Executive Officer Chaudhry Khalid Mahmood said special recovery teams have been formed to speed up the collection process and safeguard national resources while ensuring an uninterrupted power supply to consumers.
Punjab has approved a separate religious curriculum for non-Muslim students for the first time, marking a significant step toward inclusive education in the province. The Punjab Curriculum and Textbook Authority, PCTB, has issued a notification confirming the introduction of new religious textbooks starting from the academic session 2026-27.
Pakistan is losing an estimated 11,000 hectares of area every year due to persistent deforestation, according to data released in the Pakistan Economic Survey 2026. The survey warns that the continued decline in forest cover is posing serious risks to the country's ecological balance. Pakistan's total forest area currently stands at around 4.1 million% of the country's total land area, covering only 4.7%, The Punjab government has announced special healthcare measures for journalists and their families through the Lahore Press Club, LPC. Punjab Minister for Health and Population Khawaja Imran Nazir made the announcement during his visit to the Lahore Press Club, where he was received by LPC President Arshad Ansari, General Secretary Afzal Talib and governing body member Sajjad Kazmi.
A Chinese consortium led by the China Financial Futures Exchange, CFX, along with the Shanghai Stock Exchange and Shenzhen Stock Exchange, has reaffirmed plans to expand its presence in Pakistan's capital market infrastructure. The development follows regulatory progress by the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, SCEP, paving the way for deeper cooperation across the Pakistan Stock Exchange, PSX, Central Depository Company, CDCC, National Clearing Company of Pakistan Limited, NCCPL, and the Mercantile Exchange ecosystem.
The State Bank of Pakistan decided to keep the policy rate unchanged at 11.5% on Monday. The decision was made during a meeting for the final policy review of FY26.
In the early hours of Monday, the US and Iran agreed on a framework to end the more than 3-month-long war, renewing hopes for a permanent end to the conflict that has engulfed much of the region. In a post on X, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif announced a deal had been struck, which was later confirmed by US President Donald Trump, with an official signing ceremony expected on Friday, June 19, in Switzerland.
Seafarers' advocates have cautiously welcomed the tentative deal to end the Iran war and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, expressing hope that some 20,000 stranded crew members will soon be able to return home. United States President Donald Trump said the strait will reopen on Friday, when Iran will lift its toll booth system and the US will end its naval blockade of Iranian ports.
UK. Prime Minister Keir Starmer is expected to announce a ban on social media use for children under the age of 16, according to multiple reports. This would add the UK to a growing list of countries banning social media for underage users. But what sets the UK apart is that it is also looking to restrict romantic and sexual AI chatbots for users under 18.
Hospitals in Rahim Yar Khan, Punjab, have reportedly started receiving notices for a new sewerage tax, under which Waza is charging $2,500 per toilet. According to the reported details, the tax is being imposed on commercial properties and has already been billed to multiple medical facilities in the city.
Pakistan's renowned weightlifter and powerlifter Dasgir Butt has added another international title to his name after winning gold at the International Pahlavan Mahmud Strongman Games in Uzbekistan. The Gujranwala-born athlete competed in the Jalaluddin sword contest, held in the city of Khiva, where he had to hold a 14-kilogram sword for as long as possible. Nu held the sword for 1 minute and 49 seconds to secure the gold medal. The government of Punjab has linked the Dastak app with the Driving Licence Information Management System, DLIMS, to bring driving licence services to the doorstep of citizens. According to the Punjab Traffic Police, citizens will now be able to access multiple driving licence-related services through the Dastak application, and to make servicing offices and to make services more convenient.
Punjab government has formed a 13-member committee to review proposals from public sector universities regarding the commercialization of assets and public-private partnership projects, Dawn reported. The move is aimed at developing a policy framework for implementing such initiatives in higher education institutions under the Punjab Public-Private Partnership, PPP, Act 2025.
US and Iranian officials have agreed on a framework deal to end the war, halt hostilities on all fronts, and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, with the future of Iran's nuclear program and sanctions relief to be settled in later negotiations. US President Donald Trump announced that the agreement was complete and ordered an end to the US blockade of Iranian ports. While Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif confirmed that a peace agreement had been reached after intensive talks, adding that the official signing ceremony would take place on June 19 in Switzerland.
An Oslo district court has sentenced Marius Borg Høiby, the stepson of Norway's Crown Prince Haakon, to 4 years in prison for rape and other crimes. Høiby, 29, became part of the royal family when his mother, Mette-Marit, married Haakon in 2001. The Ukraine war, trade tensions and the Iran-US conflict will be on the agenda as leaders of the Group of 7 G7 countries are set to meet on Monday in the French town of Avion-les-Bains. United States President Donald Trump will join fellow world leaders at the summit after announcing a tentative deal with Iran to end the war. El Geneina, Sudan. The lecture halls of the Faculty of Medicine at the University of El Geneina have been turned into shelters for people displaced from elsewhere. In Sudan, Zainab, who did not wish to give her full name, is sitting among them, holding 2 of her surviving 3 children.
There was no grand Rose Garden announcement, no aides holding placards with lists of countries and tariffs imposed on them. But 4 months after the United States court struck down President Donald Trump's use of an emergency powers law to wage a trade war on the world, his administration has relaunched his tariff agenda using a new approach that analysts say might be harder for courts to strike down. Pakistani police commandos have fatally shot an Australian girl and severely wounded her father and brother after mistaking them for armed thieves. Hania Ahmed, a grade 4 student from Perth, was killed on Wednesday in the city of Chakwal when Punjab Police Elite Force personnel opened fire, authorities said.
The UK government is attempting to trace around 42,000 former students from European countries who owe an estimated £893 in student loans after losing contact with authorities. Latest figures from the student loans company, SLC, show it is currently tracking 121,000 borrowers worldwide with outstanding loan balances totalling £3.4 billion.
Punjab's Crime Control Department, CCD, has admitted that one of its officers made a fatal mistake during a robbery response in Lahore that led to the death of 10-year-old Pakistani-Australian girl Hania. In its official statement, CCD said the incident took place late on June 10 when its personnel responded to an armed robbery involving a family car. The department said the robbers had stopped the vehicle and were holding the family at gunpoint when officers arrived.
Punjab Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz Sharif has announced the launch of Pakistan's first Environment Protection Agency, EPA-certified liquid tree, a groundbreaking technology designed to absorb carbon dioxide and improve air quality. According to the Chief Minister, the liquid tree is the first technology to receive certification from the Punjab EPA since 1987. The bioartificial tree uses algae cultivated in water through a bioreactor system to capture carbon emissions and release oxygen into the atmosphere. Karachi has reported another confirmed case of monkeypox, Mpox, bringing the city's total number of infections to 11, according to health authorities. Hospital officials said a 35-year-old resident of Mobat Nagar in Landi tested positive for the virus and is currently receiving treatment in the isolation ward of Sindh Infectious Diseases Hospital, SIDH, Nepal.